What's going on, baseball fans? How are we doing? So the Yankees are not playing good baseball as of late, but I have come up with 5 players that I think could help the Yankees right now. Let's go talk about it. And real quick, before I get to the players, one stat that I really considered here was runs scored through base running, which the Yankees rank dead last in the major leagues. I'm not just looking for just a good offensive player, but someone that can really produce well on the base paths as well. So the first guy on my list is an honorable mention, and that's Bryan Reynolds. He's an honorable mention for me because I think it's just going to be really difficult to get a guy like a Bryan Reynolds. If we go to the stats here, he's having a very good season, hitting 287 on the year, a 390 on base, a 490 slugging. He's got 8 home runs. He's also doing well on the base paths, a 0.7 BSR. But to me, he's an honorable mention simply just due to the fact that he's not a free agent until 2026. He has a lot of years of control left. I don't see why the Pirates wouldn't want to get rid of him. I mean, maybe the Yankees can give a phone call, maybe offer a pretty penny for him. But Bryan Reynolds, he would really help out the Yankees in my opinion, but I think it's just going to be too difficult to get him. Next up, I have Trevor Story, and I just did a video yesterday on the 3 best spots for a Trevor Story, with the Yankees being one of them. Trevor Story is in my opinion, one of the premier shortstops in the game. If we go take a look at the numbers with Trevor Story, I talked about this on yesterday's video, not having a great offensive season, only hitting 255, the 5 home runs, a 322 on base. But he has a really good track record. That is one thing about Trevor Story. He's had back-to-back 30 home run seasons, had a good season last year and a short season. If you take a look at the BSR, a 1.8 on the year. He's doing very well. He's got a great glove. To me, I think he would really revitalize this Yankee lineup a lot. If we go take a look at Trevor Story right now, he's not going to cost a lot to get as of right now. If we go to baseball trade values, he has a value of 21.1. That would probably take probably just a good couple of prospects or one good prospect. Next up, I have Trevor Story's teammate and a bit of a surprise pick here, and that's Jonathan Daza. If we go to Jonathan Daza, he's actually having a very good year. Take a look at the year he's having, hitting 331. He's only got 1 home run on the year, but the guy is hitting like a machine this year, a 373 on base, a 103 WRC plus. He's having a very good year. He's been a bit of a career minor leaguer, but he's really emerged in the last couple of years, and he's doing really well on the base paths this year, a 1.7. He's playing good defense out in center field. If you go take a look at baseball trade values, Jonathan Daza, as of right now, he would not cost the Yankees all that much, only a 2.2 value. Question is, would the Rockies want to consider trading him? He has a lot of control left, not going to be a free agent for a while now. So, hey, Jonathan Daza, maybe if the Yankees are looking for a cheaper option that wouldn't cost too much, maybe they can give the Rockies a call about Daza. The next guy on my list is Starling Marte. I think Starling Marte would be a solid option for the Yankees. If we take a look at the year he's having, he was hurt not too long ago, but he's back to playing. Actually just played yesterday, went 3 for 4 with a home run and a stolen base in a loss to my Red Sox. But a really good year for Marte so far. Like I said, he's missed a few games, but over the 25 games, he's hit 318, a 425 on base, a 545 slugging. Look at the WRC plus, a 169, 4 home runs, and like I've been saying, getting production on the base paths is important for me here. So a 1.3 BSR on the year. I think Starling Marte, a good veteran player, I think would really fill in that hole that was left by Aaron Hicks in center field for the Yankees. I think Starling Marte would be a great option. If you go to baseball trade values, not going to cost a lot, 7.2 value. I think this would be a really good fit for the Yankees. Up next, I have Starling Marte's former teammate, the other Marte, Ketel Marte, and he would definitely be a lot more expensive than a Starling Marte, and for good reason. This guy is one of the premier bats in the game. If we go take a look at the numbers, he did miss some time due to a hamstring injury, but over 23 games, 4 home runs, hitting 382, a 417 on base, slugging 607, a 175 WRC plus. If you go back to 2019, what a heck of a season he had then. 32 homers, the 92 RBIs, hit 329, a 389 on base. I mean, the guy can hit. He would be awesome in that lineup. I have been talking about runs scored on the base paths. He's not doing very well there, a negative 0.4. But if you go back to 2019, he had a 4.2 that year. That's very good. The only other thing that kind of concerns me a little bit with Ketel Marte, is just the defense. If you go to his defense in center field this year, he has -7 defensive run saves. He has a -0.8 UZR out in center field. So that would be a bit of a concern for me, but I think with that bat, that's what the Yankees really need right now. He would cost a lot, though. 74.1 value. He's in the prime of his career. He has control on that contract, so it would take a lot to get a Ketel Marte, but he would be huge for that lineup. And last but not least, I think the player that would help the Yankees the most is Whit Merrifield. Whit Merrifield is having a great year, a solid veteran for the Royals. If we go take a look right now, Whit Merrifield is having a very good season, over 58 games, hitting .268. That could be a little higher, but he has 5 home runs. He's got a .323 on base, a .406 slugging. He's having a respectable year. He's playing good defense this year, but if you take a look at the runs scored on the base paths, 3.7 on the year so far. That is really good. Whit Merrifield, he's just a solid player. He can move around, and the Yankees love that. He can play center field. He can play some second. He can move around. That versatility would be really good for the Yankees. He would cost a bit. He wouldn't cost as much as a Ketel Marte, but he has a 40 value. The Royals are kind of in the mix right now. They're kind of hanging around, so would they want to deal away a Whit Merrifield? I'm not really sure. But if the Yankees could make a call about him and maybe find a way to get a deal done, I think Whit Merrifield would be huge for this Yankee team. So those are the players that I think could help out the Yankees right now. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. Are there any players that I missed? Let me know down below. If you can, hit that subscribe button, the like button, hit all the buttons, and I'll talk to you next time.